Indonesia as we look at the lineups, and they make two changes from that first leg. Ezra Walian, the preferred striker this evening, and Rama Rumakek returns from suspension. They are still maintaining that 5-4-1 that they played in the first leg, perhaps the surprise of many. And it is interesting to see that Irfan, who's been one of the outstanding players for Indonesia, drops to the bench today. Didik Setiawan is the striker who will also be on the bench. They have got plenty of other attackers to call upon. Egy Maulana in particular, so much been talked about him, much speculation as to whether he would start today in attack, but he will be on the bench. The player who is in the Slovakian league. And there is another surprise. Iksan Fandi, we'll talk about him in a short while, as the two captains, Asnawi and Haris Harun, just having the toss, deciding which ends. Talking of ends, we could well have penalties at the end of all of this. If it is still a draw at the end of the 90, then extra time, we will go to penalties. Singapore make more changes than Indonesia from that first leg. In come Amy Reka, Hafiz Noor, Zulkarnain Suzliman and Hami Shahin. So 4 changes in all for Singapore. They too are going to go with a 5 at the back, 5-4-1. Slight tweak from the last game where it was a 5-3-2. And it's Haris Harun in the middle of that defence. A tweak that they had in the second half of the game against Indonesia, which seemed to bear fruit. The players that make way, Nazrul Nazari, the right back, as well as Iksan Fandi and Faris Rumley. Perhaps the two changes that will have a few Singaporeans a little bit concerned. Zulfami Arifin was taken off in the middle of that game against Indonesia in the first leg. Kasim Al-Hatmi, the referee, Omani referee, the last referee in the previous game, came under scrutiny for decisions, penalty that wasn't given. And there's been plenty of talk from the coaches here about asking for VAR in the next edition. Let's see if that happens. But here in the here and now, Roshan, what do you make of the two lineups tonight?
I think for Indonesia, it's one we pretty much expected. You know, they've done well. They found pretty much a system that they're going with that has suited them. And again, when you look at the lineups that they've got, there's an opportunity for, as we said, the flexibility that they have with Alfiandra, for example, can slot into a back 3. They can also go with a back 4 and push Alfiandra forward into that midfield to play alongside Rahmadi Rianto and Ricky Kambuaya. So there's flexibility in that lineup, and it's the same with Singapore as well. A bit more surprised with the changes that they've made, but I think they've perhaps had a few fitness issues. The game's, you know, coming thick and fast in the knockout stages.
Well, almost immediately, Hafiz Noor searing down that left-hand side. He's got the pace, hasn't he, Hafiz Noor?
He's been looking confident, hasn't he? And not Hafiz Noor, I'm referring to the man on the bench just now. Tatsuma Yoshida is smiling all the way through.
It's a different kind of outlook because he's had a tough time, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Yeah, and he's got a big smile on his face. You know, we saw him as the teams were coming out for their warm-up. He was looking nice and relaxed, nice and confident. And you know, we talk about the changes that are being made. You see that the goals that have been conceded in this competition, the passing accuracy so far, things like the crossing accuracy, not too much of a difference between these two sides.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, every stat there, and there's Shin Tae-yong, the opposite number, who's also quite the character himself. Everything was close except for goals scored. 14 for Indonesia, 8 for Singapore, but they've had almost exactly the same number of shots, which means that Singapore have been pretty good at the conversion rate, if you want to look at that. Amy Reka, the man who's leading the line for Singapore, had one really great effort, didn't he, against Nadio in that first leg. And talking of forwards, Indonesia had 3 different forwards. They tried 3 different combinations, didn't they? Ezra Walian was yanked off after 34 minutes, having been brought on.
Yeah, at half-time, I guess it just wasn't quite working out for him. But good to see he still retained the faith of his coach.
Here's Shadan Sulaiman for Singapore. That's a delightful ball up to his club teammate Hafiz Noor. He doesn't get the better of the Indonesian skipper, Asnawi. You know about the pace of this Indonesian side that has caused so many problems, and now Russian, they've enhanced it. Ramai Rumakek.
Yep.
What a paceman he is.
A very direct player, number 20. On the left-hand side of this Indonesian attack.
Poor old Irfan, getting dropped like that. I mean, that is the kind of depth. Force that. There's Nur Adam Abdullah, preferred in that left wing-back position. And his first international start in that last game, and has retained his place. They have rotated the wing-backs a little bit in this tournament, Singapore. Now Shadan Sulaiman. Trying to slide that into Amy Reka. He featured for Singapore. Now he's got to start here in the semi-final. Big moment for him. Here's Pratama Arhan.
There's fresh legs for Singapore, especially in those forward positions with Amy and Hafiz Noor coming in. Interesting to see how they get on, and I know there's a lot of talk on social media about Singapore's lineup and how people weren't sure with the changes that were made. I mean, he's got a squad, Tatsuman. He's been very consistent with his messaging around it, in that he said, I trust every member of the squad.
It's a delightful ball from Hami Shahin. Reka, by the way, he's got plenty of pace about him as well. Had a standout season last campaign for Gelang International. 10 goals for him. His best return.
Yeah, I mean, if we see Amy Reka initially making that run in behind, got cut out, and then Hami Shahin. It's a really good shielding of the ball by Alfeandra, who looks to just be occupying a central midfield position alongside Rahmadi Rianto. And what that means is it's given Ricky Kambuaya a bit more freedom to drift across those midfield areas. Here he is on the right-hand side.
Rianto, distinct with that tucked-in shirt. Nice touch on to Song Wei-yong. He seems to pass through Shadan Sulaiman. He's got a quarterback type of role. Pratama, quick pass on from him. Here's Ramai Rumakek. Now Witan Sulaiman. Still Witan, who was brilliant in that last game. Witan. Bit of a plea in vain there to the referee.
Yeah, another player who's very difficult to pin down. Witan Sulaiman talked about his intelligence and his awareness of the game. Just wonderful. He gets himself into areas where he knows that he can pick the ball up here, cause lots of issues in behind the Singapore midfield. And again there, he picked it up behind that midfield and looked to try and run at the defense.
Shown a little bit too much of the ball there. Irfan, here come Indonesia. Witan Sulaiman slips the ball through. And that was a poor miss right in front of goal by Kambuaya.
I think it might have taken a deflection off Haris. It was so important for the Singapore captain to come across. Irfan just getting caught out by Ramai Rumakek there. I love this. This is intelligence from Witan Sulaiman. Understanding of, he could have perhaps taken a shot on himself, but he thinks, Ricky Kambuaya has made a good run. Use him. Nice little reverse ball into the number 15, and it was so important for Haris to come across. That's one of the benefits of having that back three, an additional man in the centre of defence.
Corner for Indonesia, first one of the game. Important intervention there by Haris Harun, who they've preferred in that back three now. Here is Witan then with the corner. Doesn't get past the first man. Witan Sulaiman again. Alfreandra Dewanga. Pratama Arhan We know we can hit them. Scored a great goal against Malaysia. Slip through. There is Rumah Ramakek. Good early pressure here from Indonesia.
A good start to this game. I think from both these sides, but especially from Indonesia here, looking more comfortable on the ball. Get things going at a good tempo. And Singapore looking to still try and play out from these pressure situations. Lovely dummy there from Hami Shaheen.
And all that pressure started from Irfan trying to bring the ball out. The sequence of events has led to this. A lot of time on the ball. He loves to try and bring the ball out of play. Here's Hafiz Noor.
Very good work from Hafiz Noor, quick feet. And he's one of those players, Hafiz Noor, who, a little bit like Haris Harun, was unfortunate to pick up COVID. Which meant, of course, going to be involved in quite a bit of the build-up.
Fantastic run for Zulkan and Suleiman. That was a ballooned shot, wasn't it, from Song Ryong?
Tatsuma Yoshida is a big fan of Hafiz Noor. And I think every time he's been in the squad, he's contributed.
There's Rawalian running in that channel, and it's good work there from Irfan Fandi. He's not the most mobile of strikers, isn't he? But he's big and he's got that physical presence.
Ezra Walian, yeah, and you know, lots of Indonesian fans out there are calling him Giroud, the Indonesian Olivier Giroud, because of his physicality, his role in the team as well. As I said, you know, he perhaps is not going to get too many goals, but you can play off him, and they've got good mobility around him as well. So that type of style.
The issue I've certainly been seeing online as we see that ball in from Pratama Arhan. That's another corner for Indonesia. He's the only striker that scored in the goals, and that's one goal from the 4 that they've brought in. Shin Tae-yong's team have been scoring plenty. It's not come from their forwards.
Yeah, I think very early on here, Haris has just had to have a word with Irfan, who defended that situation really well. But there's a couple of occasions now in possession where Irfan's saying, I don't have options to pass to, and they've turned it over to the Indonesians.
That was solid from Safwan. Pratama Arhan. Couple of nervy moments there. Noradam does well. Another corner.
Good covering by Noradam. Some wonderful work from Pratama Arhan. And the one who loves getting into these advanced positions. Very modern day left back.
Well, that looked like something off the training ground. The shot is blocked from Fakhruddin Arianto. Into the mix by Alfayandra, straight forward for Hassan Sani. He looks up. Decided not to release quickly. Has done that in the past, hasn't he, with Faris Rumley in particular. That was perhaps telegraphed. It's come straight back at Singapore here. A real problem. It's a straightforward goal. And it's Ezra Walian. Indonesia take advantage there.
They deserve this, Indonesia, for the start that they've had in this game. They've been aggressive with the press, with the starting position. They've not given these Singaporean players a chance to settle in this game so far. A punter field is picked up here by Alfayandra. Ball played in behind. Talk about who wants it more. Witan Sulaiman makes this goal happen. Just his desire to win it off Safwan. Alfayandra first pokes it forward, and here you're thinking Safwan is caught on the wrong side. He's not goal side of Witan, but still physically Witan just shrugs him off, unbalances him, and then has the presence of mind here. What I love about this is the composure. He hangs on to it, takes it past Haris, who's got a little bit flat-footed, and then holds and waits for Hassan to come out to commit, and then finds the pass for a simple finish into Ezra Walian.
Well, we're just talking about perhaps a lack of goals up top for Indonesia. Ezra Walian has scored here. That's his second of the tournament. Boy, how valuable could that be? And once again, Indonesia take a lead in the semi-finals.
Well, it started off like this in the first leg as well, Indonesia. With a much better side in the opening 45 of the first leg. It faded a little bit in the second, but it looked fresh. Still very early on. Lots of football to go. But encouraging signs.
Witan. Hamid Shahin. Here's Song Wei-young. Singapore just not been allowed to settle. Goes in hard there, Alfian Dewanga.
Yeah, I don't know if Tatsuma is smiling anymore, you know. He's concerned now.
So there you go, on aggregate, Indonesia 2-1 up. Reminder, there's no away goals. There's the man of the moment, Ezra Walian, Dutch Indonesian heritage. Started his career with AZ Alkmaar and Ajax Amsterdam. Maybe moved to Indonesia a couple of years ago. Here he is now. There was debate as to whether he should get starting place today, and there were lots and lots of speculation about Egy Maulana. He has answered his critics there.
I just wonder with the goal as well, as Haris came out to close down Witan Sulaiman, whether Irfan could have come across a little bit quicker into the space that Ezra Walian was occupying.
It's Hafiz Noor. Lots of thinking to do here for Tatsuma. Again, they're just quicker to the ball here. And look who it is, Alfiandra. Ramai, that ball out to Witan. Asnawi goes over. Still Asnawi here. Well, they are looking very good here. It's Kambuaya with the shot. It's all Indonesia at the moment.
Yeah, the quicker, the sharper. They look hungry at the moment. They're winning these physical challenges. You just have a look at Asnawi again. Called him a machine on social media a few days ago, and just displaying those fighting qualities once more. And it's not just him. We saw it from Alfiandra as well. What a player he is, that young man. Can play in central defense, can play in midfield. So composed, really hard-working, winning all these 50-50 balls in the middle of the park.
Ramai. Away by Hassan. So the irritation of the fans, that decision. Here's Rizki. Another corner. They are racking these up now.
Yeah, he's another one who's enjoying himself, Ricky Kambuaya. Love him and his movement, his work rate. He's got that license to drift across, as I said, and we saw him on the right-hand side. Now he's pushing out to that left-hand side because he's got that platform in behind him. He knows he's got Alfiandra Dewanga and Rahman Irianto sitting in that central midfield. So he's got that sort of license to then drift into these different spaces, and still knowing that if they do end up losing possession, they've got a nice defensive structure in there to help them out in those counter-attacking situations.
Little word there from Ezra Walian. Kambuaya. Carried by Hami Shahin, but only as far as Alfayandra. Ramai. Back to Hassan there. From Hami Shahin, from Zulkarnain. Singapore just not been able to get past halfway line.
No, they haven't really been able to build anything in possession. Always under pressure. The choices that they're making as well in possession. And what they did in the second half of that first leg, when they were able to turn it around, the tempo of their game changed. It went up. They played a little bit quicker, but also the players were arriving at good timings to support players in possession. So they were able to really build and have a good structure in that possession phase of play.
They're getting closed down, aren't they? Very quickly. Indonesia has a pocket of space here for Song Wei-ung. That's a goal kick. Tatsuma not happy, neither is Song. Looks across at the assistant referee. Well, Roshan, you immediately felt that was a goal kick.
Yeah, I thought straight away. I thought that was a goal kick. But let's see. I could be wrong. I was just going by my real-time reaction to that.
What about your slow-mo reaction to that now?
I still think it's a goal kick. Yeah, and Rahman Irianto, good shielding of the ball again. Just gets his body in the way, takes the contact, wins the free kick.
There is Ramai. Look at that. Gets the pass and then sprints forward. Pratama Arhan. Back to Ramai. Dinks it up towards Ezra Walian.
Interesting, you know, you mentioned VAR and how the world of football has gone from absolutely hating VAR, not wanting it. You see Iksan on the bench here. He's not 100% fit. We saw him have a bit of an issue the last time out, coming off after scoring that goal immediately.
Yeah.
I think he was going to be taken off actually before that. So going back to VAR. And a few mistakes happen, and suddenly it's in the spotlight again, and everybody wants VAR now.
Well, I think it serves to enhance the game, and perhaps we may see it in the next AFF Suzuki Cup.
Well, there are a lot of considerations when it comes to VAR. Obviously, you need the infrastructure in place. You also need referees capable of working it well, trained and qualified and have had practice with it.
Thailand actually have put that as part of their bid when they were looking to host this. Singapore will beat them in the end. There's Hami Shahin. Now Zulkarnain looking for Song, who's annoyed there. And here come Indonesia. Look at that. Once again, Pratama Arhan slips it through to Ezra. Irianto. Irianto. The outside of his boot. Effectively, Roshan, you were pointing this out even in the last game, but today, Alfanga, it isn't a back five, is it?
No, it's they've gone to a back four.
Yeah.
And with a player like Alfayandra Dewanga, he can drop into that back line.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget Rahman Irianto as well, who can play in central defence. So they've got two midfielders that are very comfortable in those central positions. Heavy collision between Amy and Alfayandra, quickly taken by Indonesia here.
It's kind of caught in two minds and looking around, but Indonesia thought quickly. Here's Noradam Abdullah. Looking towards Amy Reka, but forced to Song Wei-ung. Nice touch on from Amy Reka. Ami needed to put a better cross in. That's about as threatening as Singapore have been.
I mean, the play in that situation was encouraging up until the cross quality of the cross not quite there. We can see the run that Hami makes from inside out, just switching positions with Song Woo-young. Alfeandra, they are working very hard there to close off the angles. Make sure the cross couldn't be delivered without pressure. And even when they went with the back five, Indonesia, with Dewang, as I said, again, stepping into midfield, and at times Rahmat could drop into that back three. But it does seem here tonight, for the moment anyway, that they are going with the back four. Alfeandra and Rahmat just protecting that defense.
Late one, wasn't it? Hami Shaheen will have a little chat with the referee here. Rahmat Irianto is down. He's okay.
Couple of coming together there between these two players, Hami and Rahmat. I don't think that challenge ever caused Rahmat too much pain. There was too much in that challenge.
Wasn't a great pass, was it? And fantastic chasing down by Hafiz Noor. Fakhruddin Arianto was caught a bit surprised there.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the best of touches from Fakhruddin, just lost his concentration a little bit. Credit to Hafiz Noor for being quick to apply that pressure. Win the ball back for his side. He's backing into Mireka was just backing into Fakhruddin. Or was it a foul throw perhaps?
Finally calling one, aren't they?
I wonder if he's saying keep both feet on the pitch.
Six shots so far from Indonesia. Really coming to this. Up for it, Singapore giving passes away at the moment.
Well, that again, it comes down to the decision making in those situations. There's no line of pass, there's no angle of pass, so you got to recycle it until an option opens up. It's another late challenge from Hami. It's too strong for him, Kambuaya there. He's trying to make something happen, Hami, but you need that little bit of patience at times. Still very early on in this game. You don't have to force it just yet, especially in those situations where Indonesia have got themselves settled in that defensive block. So players are already organized in those positions. And there's very little movement from Singapore in terms of the supporting players. They're not moving themselves into channels where they can receive a pass.
Here comes Alfeandra. Amazingly thinking he could go for goal there.
I mean, he's even gotten a smile out of Shin Tae-yong. Ambitious, I would say. Yeah, not really worth analysing, is it? I think the better option would have been a cross.
I'm not sure what his teammates would have felt about that.
That reaction from Shin Tae-yong, though.
Here is Irfan. Now Haris Harun. Short pass there from Shannon, but they've got away with it. Now Hafiz. Overlapping run from Noradam. And they'll get a corner. Singapore's first corner. And we know that this is where they can be dangerous.
And good run forward from Noradam. Strong challenge from Masnawi. He's always going to be on hand to help his side out for offensive and defensive situations.
Taken quickly here by Singapore. Shadan. Done well to try and keep that alive. Singapore make very little out of that corner.
Well, just looking for variation on the corner routine there, Singapore. And you go back to that first leg, they were winning the first balls in the air from set-piece situations, just weren't able to capitalize.
Even in the first half, when they weren't at their best.
That's right. And in a situation like that where you've got Safwan, you've got Haris, Irfan up top, looking to challenge and try and win a ball that could come in. It's a little bit disappointing that you go for a short corner routine and the technique is not quite right. Bit of a wasted opportunity. Good work from Zulkarnain.
Hafiz Noor. Not to Noor Adam. Straight to Emi Reka. Trying to get a grip on this match. Before you know it, 28 minutes have flown by here. Here's Emi Reka. Nur Adam. Ball is given away by Hami. Here come Indonesia again. And that man, Alfian Drawanga. Well, Shadan's point was he was already going down, Ref.
Yeah. A little bit soft. But you know what Alfian Drawanga is doing there? Just stopping it, inviting that hand to come across, and then he's going to go down. It's an arm across, and the referee sees that arm across. It looks like you're impeding the player, which he is, and he's going to blow for a free kick.
Free kicks, haven't they? Had Indonesia. Risky.
With a risky pass.
Yes. Sorry, a couple of those. Yeah, I was waiting for one of us to say it. So it was excellent, risky in the back five against Vietnam. Ramai won't get there. Here's Irfan. Shin Tae-yong not letting up here, his players. Felt that Singapore played better against Indonesia than they had in the entire group stage in that second half in particular. One game from him. Now, this is the weapon that they have used a fair bit in this tournament, is Pratama Arhan, particularly here at the National Stadium when there's a bit more space to run in for the throw-in. They've done something a little bit different here. Here's Devanga.
Well, that was a really interesting throw-in. I know everyone's expecting the long throw into the box. He changes it up, but I wonder if that was meant for Ramai Rumakek or whether it was for Alfiandra, because it made its way all the way through to Alfiandra. Almost worked out really well for them.
They're varying things up a little bit here today, Indonesia. More ways than one. Here's Irfan. There's a summary of what's happened so far. The 12th-minute goal by Ezra Walian has given Indonesia an aggregate lead here. Delightful ball out to Nur Adam, who heads it into the box. Emi Reka bearing down. It's cleared away. Fakhruddin.
He's trying to get himself into positions in front of defenders, looking to try and link the play in these attacking areas. Wonderful ball from Haris Harun, wasn't it? That diagonal. Again, looking to attempt another one. It's another delightful Croxfield pass by the Singapore captain.
Brilliant work, isn't it, to Zulkarnain. Well, So Young trying to shot there now. Trying to pass in. Could have two minds there. Good options. shot in as well. Singapore, though, have seemed to get a little bit more to grips with this game, Roshan.
Well, it's starting to have a bit more of the ball. Starting to look to try and find these gaps in that Indonesian defense and perhaps being a bit more patient, going around that Indonesian shape rather than through the middle.
Good ball into Song Wei-young as he get the cross in. No, he doesn't.
That a little bit of quality is missing at the moment in those attacking positions.
Would that be on the bench then, some of that quality you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, you look at this here, it's a nice idea, but he's got far too much on it. Song keeps himself onside. Could have been in behind. You know, these key moments, these key situations. Technically, you need to be sound in those areas, in those positions, and unfortunately, it's not quite coming off. We've seen Singapore lose possession a little bit in those areas, looking to always try and play that killer pass, and that killer pass is not quite coming off.
Closing down by Norada to win the ball back. Here comes Song Wei-young. Crowd getting excited. Gets past one. No foul, says the referee.
Nice dummy from the referee as well. As Indonesia look to break forward.
Singapore win it back.
Good work by Norada. Down on that left-hand side, winning the ball and initiating the counter.
Singapore trying to take the game to their opponents now. Here's Kambuaya. Now Ezra Walian. Lovely vision to get that across, but it is offside. Witan Sulaiman's come onto this left-hand side for a bit, and he's not offside, says Shin Tae-yong.
Ramai Rumakiak has gone down as well, and that was really good vision from Rahmat. Intelligent ball in behind the Singapore defence. Here's Song just cutting inside, and good challenge, clean challenge. Nice dummy from the referee as well. He was right there. Really good challenge from Rizky. Well timed. Got all of the ball.
Nothing wrong with that. Singapore with twice as many fouls at the moment than the Indonesians. And that's normally a complaint leveled at the Indonesians, that they foul a lot. And some of the other countries. Here's the goal again.
Yeah, Witan, I mean, he just gets goal side here on Safwan, and he's stronger and he doesn't panic. You wonder then in that situation if Irfan could have come across quicker, just identify the danger a little bit earlier. But Witan, I mean, the work that he's done there, it's wonderful. I mean, the composure in those moments, this is what I'm talking about. Key situations, key area of the pitch where you can make a difference, and he's made it because he's kept his composure, he's kept his quality, he's drawn Hassan out from goal, and even though you've got a big goalkeeper like Hassan Sani coming out and spreading himself at you like that, he's still been able to get his head up and find a pass into Ezra Walian for the finish.
Yeah, it's not particularly pleasant viewing from a Singapore perspective. Play on, says the referee. And look at that. Nice run down the middle from Witan.
Oh, I think that was a good challenge from Safwan, you know.
Safwan's furious with that yellow card.
And that was the gap between Safwan and Haris. I was pointing it out to you just before it was played. Witan was making that run into that space, and Safwan saw it and came across, which is credit to him coming across to identify that. It's a clean challenge. I think he's very unfortunate, Safwan. He gets all of the ball.
Yeah.
I think he's unfortunate, Safwan. He spots the danger early, comes across to cover the space. He's won the ball there. Very unfortunate. It's a good challenge.
I think it didn't help him that he kind of went over the ball, didn't he? He got the ball and went over it. Maybe the referee didn't quite spot that, but it is a yellow card. 9 minutes till half time, and they've got a free kick in a good area here, Indonesia.
Irfan's still saying he got the ball. He got the ball first. It's not going to change his mind. interesting to see what Indonesia do here. Rumaikek and Wanga.
Oh, they've done something a little cheeky there. The Safwan got a yellow in the first leg as well. And with that second yellow, that is a problem for Singapore. Something to think about later on, though.
Yeah, I wonder if it might just have taken a... When it came through in real time, I was just wondering if he could have taken a bit of a deflection. I mean, Song sticks out a leg. Fortunately for Singapore, went straight down the middle.
Ezra Walian.
Good defending from Irfan. Got himself into position early and then came sliding across, and he had to get this challenge right. I'm not quite sure why the flag went up. I think perhaps the assistant referee thought there was a push on Irfan, but actually it was Irfan who was going down to ground to make that challenge. I think he got a little bit nervous when he saw the assistant referee put his flag up. Really good clean tackle though.
And they've won the ball back here. Witan Sulaiman, brilliant again. That's been excellent, hasn't he? Here he is on the ball. Now he plays his football in Poland with Lechia Gdansk. Look at the pace of that Asnawi. He did all the hard work. He's overhit the cross.
Yeah, but they're going to take this opportunity here to try and put the pressure on. Down Singapore's right-hand side. Not the best of crosses, but if you want to take something positive out of it, you could say, well, at least it's still deep in Singapore territory, and they can apply pressure and win it back, which they've done here.
Here's Rizky. Now Fakhruddin. Been pretty quiet for him at the back there. Nadio, the Indonesian goalkeeper. Song Wei-young trying to close down. A little bit better from Singapore there. Witan Sulaiman. Still Witan. Lovely touch on there from Shadan. Just comes straight back at them.
Just Witan Sulaiman looks so dangerous every time he's got the ball. Whether it's playing a pass, whether it's running with it.
Song Wei-young, look at that run from Hafiz. Now Hafiz, will he go for goal here? He does. But it's at a perfect height. There's a foul, Emi Reka, who goes down. That looked like it could have been a penalty. He's asking for it. The crowd are as well. Tatsuma's furious.
Well, a bit of confusion in the Indonesian defense. Defender and goalkeeper both leaving it for each other to take care of the situation. And it was Emi Reka who was alert, alive to that, looking to punish Indonesia for that hesitation in defense.
Controversy in the first leg for a penalty not given. Let's see on the replay what happened there. Irfan not impressed with Witan Sulaiman.
Well, lovely work from Singapore here in the counter-attack. A long ball played forward, flicked on into Song initially. Now there just pushes it out, and Rahmat is hoping for his goalkeeper to come out and claim that. I don't think it's a penalty. I think when you look at how he wins the ball, the way he comes across, he's connected with Emi Reka first, hasn't he? Before winning the ball. My apologies. You know, there's a shout there. There's a penalty shout. Again, it's a legitimate appeal from Singapore for that one.
Well, if you're counting these, it's one apiece.
Does it cancel? Is it one of those things where they say cancel each other out?
I think people just want the right decision, right? Whenever they can. But look, we've had to look at it again.
Yeah.
We've had 3 times now we've looked at it, so there's that.
Well, it's a world without VAR, which some people are happy with. When decisions don't go for you, then you ask for it.
Have a chat with Park Hang-seo.
Yeah.
Well, it is a corner here for Indonesia. Punch away by Hassan when he looked like he could have caught that. Pratama Arhan. Here's Ramai. Now Kambuaya. Oh, it's done well here, Kambuaya. Ezra Walian. And he's closed down just in time. Right, Irfan.
Important challenge for Shadan. You know what, the situation, a wonderful run from Ricky Kambuaya here first, and just go back to the penalty shout. Oh, maybe after this, Ricky Kambuaya, lovely work, quick feet, just that situation where he couldn't quite find Rumakek with the pass, and then an important challenge from Shadan. I want to kind of explain the referee's thinking on why he perhaps didn't give that penalty, but remind me to come back to it after this corner.
Indonesia looking to finish this half as strongly as they started it. This time he does take a clean catch. And a quick distribution up to Shadan Sulaiman. Amy Reka will not get that. Nadia with one key save in this first half of Hafiz Noor. Came with a perfect height. Yes, Roshan, come on.
Yeah, so from where I'm sitting, and I'm a lot further away from the action than where the referee is, it looked like it was a clean challenge because he came away with the ball, right? But on closer inspection, on the replays, which obviously the referee doesn't have access to, handball there, what he's seeing, perhaps from his point of view, is the challenge has come in and he's won the ball. So the player, Amy Reka, has gone flying, but what he's perhaps seeing from his line of sight is he's won the ball and the ball's there, defenders won it, so it's a clean challenge. But again, in the VAR world, if you go back and look at it, you would highlight it to the referee. If you're VAR, you would highlight it to the referee as a clear and obvious error. Yeah. I think you've missed this, depending on what the referee describes, of course, but I think he would have said, no, I didn't see the first contact with the Singapore attacker. Then you look at him and say, go review it on the screen. So I don't know why we're talking about VAR. We don't have it, so it's pointless, isn't it?
Well, it's 2 clear penalties in this semi-final over both legs. Just a 1 minute at a time here. Ramai did pretty well there, I have to say. Singapore will get a free kick, last chance here in the first half to try and draw level.
I mean, Rumakek was trying his best. That's good work from those 2 Singaporean players. They're not giving up. Zulkarnain and Amy Reka working hard, and they've done well to win a free kick. Bit of nonsense off the ball there between Safwan and Rizky. Yeah, they're both pushing and shoving there. You can see Rizky and Safwan. Rizky wants to make absolutely sure they've gone man-to-man there in those situations that he's not going to allow Safwan to get away from him. The referee decided that he's going to have a word with both players.
Well, he'll be key here. Safwan.
Yeah, keep an eye on that, keep an eye on that. He's saying, look, I've peeled away, I'm running off into the box, and he's still tugging my jersey. He's making sure he's putting this... have a look at that again. And Bolton,
Well, that's his second yellow. That's his second yellow. That's a huge moment here in this game. But it wasn't, he was yanked away, wasn't he? Safwan burrowed it. They've got to keep their cool, but Singapore are in real trouble now. And he's given a red card after that second yellow. But if you look back at that, he was being yanked.
No, the referee's, I think he's completely lost control of this.
And so is Safwan. He's got to walk away now. He's got to walk away. It's done.
And I was keeping an eye on this, and he's been,
it happened behind
he's
him,
talking
right?
to them. Yeah, again, it happens right in front of the referee. Referee saying to Safwan to calm it down. Rizky's hanging on to him. He went to have a word with the two of them, so it's after this. So he's already had a word with both those players, and it's happened straight away after that when the referee's had his back turned. Listen, I don't even know if the referee saw clearly what had happened between Safwan and Rizky.
It happened after.
So they need to move this on. We've seen this. The referee have a word with Safwan and Rizky, and it happens straight after that. We're going to try and get the replay if we can of the incident.
He's absolutely furious.
I think he's got a right to be,
And I think he's right, yeah.
I feel for him.
Singapore in trouble. But they can change it all, yeah! Oh, they do so! So Leon has got the goal! And I tell you what, the reaction of the Singapore bench as well. They've gone right up to the fourth official. They're fired up here. Singapore, on the cusp of half-time, have changed the complexion of this game. But they are down, a man down, I'm so sorry.
How about that for a moment to galvanize the crowd and the team? Listen to the reaction from the crowd. It's bubbling around the penalty area. A song on hand after that sending off for Safwan. He's there to put it away, bubbling around in the box. Keeps a cool head, finds the back of the net. And Singapore are back in this, down to 10 men, but back in this, and the reaction from the bench. Tatsuma Yoshida went celebrating in front of the fourth official. Safwan was walking off into the locker room, turned around and went back to celebrate in front of the fourth official as well.
It's his first ever international goal for Singapore. But it's a huge talking point. And now Shin Tae-yong
and Tatsuma as well.
It's fiery. It's all happening on and off the pitch. Roshan and myself, we're all getting into it. But tempers are flaring. Massive talking points, Roshan, as we go into the break here.
Yeah, so much passion. The Indonesian players, the ones that are on the pitch, have gone back into a huddle, which they have usually done in this competition. And the Singapore bench and the Indonesian bench going face to face. Natsuma's gone across to just try and settle things down. He's gone across to Shin Tae-yong, and he's saying there was a bit of disrespect from the bench towards him, he felt. Noor Rahman, one of the assistants on Singapore bench, has gone over to apologize as well, just to try and cool things off.
Well, this has had all the ingredients of a classic second half, but Singapore are